So now let's work on the image name. And if you're the owner of this image or you're an admin, then this should be editable. And if you're not the owner and you're just viewing it because it's public, then you should see what you see now. So the image view content needs to be able to determine who the currently logged in user is and what their role is. And then based on that, we need to make some changes to that image view name. And we've done that before over in the nav bar. So it's this code that gets the current user and the user's role. And so I'm going to go to my image view content and I'm going to paste this in. And then I'm going to cut out most of it. So basically everything after here and then let me fix the tabbing here. Shift tab to untab. And then this is not quite right. So I did remove one layer of tabbing, and then I need to close off that curly bracket and that closing paren. So that should line up here. Okay, so this gets the current user, stores it in cur_user. So let's create a variable for that. And then down here, we can start editing the image name. So if cur_user dot name is equal the image set dot name key, or cur_user dot role is equal admin, then the current user has permission to edit this. So what we want to do is set the content editable attribute of this thing to true, and then also attach an event listener for key presses and key ups. So let's just start with setting content editable true, and I'm also going to put a dashed border around it to show that it's editable. So $, image view name dot adder content editable is true. And also, I'm just going to chain these together. So here's how it should look, like so. And then I'm also going to set the CSS border property to 1 pixel dashed gray. Let's go ahead and try that part. So I'm logged in as Mark, so I'm going to find an image that's owned by Mark. I think those are at the bottom. So here's one that's owned by Mark. So that didn't work. Let me go ahead and enable debugging and put a breakpoint on that JavaScript. Show image view. Put a breakpoint here. And then try it again. All right, so my current user I didn't want that. Yeah, okay. So let me just do current user is equal data. And in fact, I'm just going to pass it in as current user. And I don't really need to save it. So get rid of that. Get rid of that. So let's try it now. Reload. And then click on, that's not my image, so try one more time. So scroll down to my images. There's one of mine. Click it. F12. Put a breakpoint there. Close. Open. So my cur user, username Mark, role verified. Oh, that's wrong. Cur user username has to match image set dot owner. So let's go ahead and fix that. Cur user dot username image set dot owner key. So let's go ahead and try it again. Reload. And here's one of my images. Good. So this has now got a gray border and it's editable. Nothing happens when I change it, but we'll fix that soon. And then one that I don't own is that one. So that's a problem. That shouldn't be editable. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on there. So cur_user.username is Mark, imageset.owner is markx61, cur_user.role is verified. So it should just skip past here. It does, but this is left over from the previous load. So I have to be sure to reset all of these things at the beginning. So else, let's go ahead and set image view name dot adder content editable false dot css border comma 0 pixel. So that should reset that. So reload. Here's one I don't have permission on, not editable. Here's one I do have permission on, editable. And then back up here, not editable. And then I'm going to log out and sign in as my admin. And then all of these should be editable. Good. So one other thing that I want to fix here, so what I want to do is move this to the end after I've updated all of this stuff. So reload, click. Log out, sign in. Actually, I'm just unlogged in now. That's fine. So I shouldn't have edit permission on any of this. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a key press handler to my name, image view name, if the user has permission. And I can use chaining for that as well. So key press, and this is going to take an event. And the only thing I need to do in my key press handler is basically block carriage returns. So the reason is if I go to one that I can edit, I have to sign in. And then one that I can edit. So if I hit returns, I don't want that. I just want it to be one line. So what I'm going to do instead is if event.keycode is 10, which is a line feed, or keycode is 13, which is a carriage return, then I want to prevent default. So that's going to block carriage returns and line feeds. So here's one I can edit, and I'm hitting carriage returns and nothing's happening, but everything else is working. So that's the first thing. And then the next thing I want is a key press event. I'm sorry, a key up event. And this time I don't need access to the event. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to console.log the $ image view name .text. So every time I make a change to this, it's going to show it in the console window. So get the console window and click edit, and then did I reload? I'm not sure if I reloaded, so let me try that. There we go. Okay, so every time I type, I get that event, and here's the text that I get. So what I want to do is use Ajax to send that to the backend web server and store it in the database. And so in order to do that, what I need to pass back is the image set ID and who I am to check whether I have permission. Actually, I'm going to get that on the other side from the session, so I don't need that. I think just the image set ID is really all I need to update the name. So we're going to put an Ajax call. And I need to create a function for that, but it's going to be in assets actions update name question. And then I'm going to need some variables for constant values. So actually, I probably have most of what I need already. Let's look at the share database. So I have a name key, and I have an image set ID key. So I'm just going to use those this time. So name key is equal to, and then I need to pass in the text from the current image view, but I need to escape it first. So let's do that. Var name is equal to image view name dot text, and then I want to URL encode encode URI, this thing, and then pass that in here. So name is equal to that, and image set ID key is equal to image set dot image set ID key. And then I don't actually need the return result for anything. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it worked. So let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. I haven't written this handler yet, but that's okay. So reload, F12, network, pick one that I can edit, cat under chair. So these are all 404 not found, but if I look at the URL, copy link address, and if I paste that in here, I see update name. That should actually be update name.php. And then the name key is cat %20 under %20 chair, period. And the image set ID is 153, which I think is correct.